Hi, this is Coach Sam here with the Coach's Corner today. We're going to talk a little bit about shooting and scoring. Now, if any of you have seen me play hockey, you know I am not a goal scorer. I'm a grinder guy, and well, let's just say I'm old and a beer league guy now. So, when I talk about shooting and scoring, I'm talking about some tips and tricks that Coach Constantine of the Pittsburgh Penguin gave me at a camp called Hockey and Sons, which was really cool. It's Troy Ward's camp. If you have time, check it out. It was really instrumental in my son's life and the thing we look forward to most of the year. Anyway, this is adapted from Coach Constantine's. It's not verbatim, so don't get mad at me if it's something that you're wanting directly from his mouth. Go to him. He's a legend there in Minnesota and has coached NHL and stuff. But anyway, so here we go. Now the video is playing in the background just for your entertainment. Scoring, as far as from a intellectual perspective, can be broken down into a few graphics. Where do we score from? What part of the net do we score from? What tips and tricks? And Coach Constantine is a goalie. He's an NCAA Division I goalie, so he knows where and when people have scored on him, and he gives great advice on where to shoot the puck, how to shoot the puck, what situations to shoot the puck in. So first and foremost, let's talk a little bit about where pucks go in. So if you can see on the graphic on the left, that's where pucks go in, and you can see it's a fan shape. There's an exact angle, but I want you to notice on the right and left of the goal, right in front of the blue, is where most of these goals are going in. If you're shooting a target, at a range, man, you're putting a lot of bullets right there. And then as you progress further out towards the goal, you see less goals scored. Okay. Now these are goals that are comprised from NHL data over a little while. This is taken from Thibodeau Chatel's newsletter. And so this is talking about where goals are scored. So if you zoom in on the graphics where pucks went in, now there's some confusion on the internet on what holes are called. Some people have 1 and 2 on the top, and some of them have it on the bottom. So for our reference, we're going to call these holes. The only one I'm going to call a number is the 5 hole, which is the center hole underneath the goalie's legs and in between his pads. So as you can see, where pucks went in is from mid to high is 68%. Okay, so that's a high percentage of scoring. But let's not ignore the 5 hole. The 5 hole is 21%. It's third in goals scored. So that's either on the ice or a foot above the ice, or anywhere from a foot above the ice. So as you can see, there's a lot of goals to be scored from mid down. You've got 14% on the blocker side, and that's mid blocker. You've got 9% on the mid glove side. You've got 7% on the low blocker side, and you've got 4% on the glove side. Okay, and that is, we're calling that blocker and we're calling that glove because that is where the goalies line up. Some goalies are left-handed, some goalies are right-handed. So you say, Sam, where am I going to score the most goals, Coach Sam? Well, the first and foremost, when I watched the JV game, when I was a linesman for the JV game, I watched probably I would say 9 out of 10 shots sail over the net. I mean, or go wide right or left of the net. I mean, that is just when we say, hey, shoot on goal, we're talking literally shoot anywhere on goal, including where that goalie is. You still have a 1% chance, according to this graphic, of where of actually scoring on this goalie. Okay. The problem we get as players is everyone wants that top shelf, high cheese, barred down ski goal because it feels good, right? It feels awesome to sail one in over the goalie's glove side hand in the top corner, and if you can do that, you've got a 75% of chance of it not going in, and a 25% chance of it going in. So that's a high percentage. But let's talk about this. You've also got a high percentage chance if you can get the goalie going right to left and you shoot on the blocker side low scoring position. Now, one of the things that Coach Constantine talks about in this speech he gives at this camp is deception. Now, his claim is, and he watches a lot of NHL film, shows a lot of NHL film to his players. His claim is that the highest percentage shot that goes in the NHL is the one-timer. Now, Coach Constantine includes as one-timers anything that gets passed or redirected to the stick and comes off as a one-timer, just as you saw there. Okay, so if you want to score more goals, shoot one-timers, shoot rebounds, and shoot passes where it's a one-touch situation. So if it comes off the pads, if Miles is selling in towards the goal and he sees that Seven's on his right, he can pass it off the pads of the goalie and create a one-time situation for Seven or for whoever's on his line with him. Or anyone can do this. I just use the players that are on the ice. So here's an example from later in the game with a good use of deception. Seven drops it back to Miles, and the goalie's already moving from left to right, trying to track Seven, and it leaves. I mean, it's a great shot by Miles. He puts it right in that top percentage corner over that glove side, but it's also a deceptive play. So I want to talk for a minute about one of my favorite players in the NHL, and everybody's probably already guessed it by now by looking at the old play here. Is Pavel Datsyuk. Pavel Datsyuk was probably, in my opinion, the most deceptive player in the NHL. The guy had moves upon moves, and he just was so quick with the puck that goalies could not handle him. Now I want you to notice as he's scoring goals here, he always has a deceptive move. You see that deke there? He had the goalie bit so hard on the backhand shot that he never even knew he was going to pass back. Now here he's coming on another break, and watch him go right to left. He goes right to left to backhand and then scores on the opposite side. The goalie has bit so hard on his right-hand shot, and then he's coming across the crease. That's another one of Coach Constantine's number one ways to score goals is to come across the crease. Get the goalie to go right to left or left to right. Because if you ask any goalie what the hardest thing to do in hockey is when you're tracking a player going right to left, right in front of you, it's almost next to impossible to cover the top side of the goal, as you can see here. Pavel Datsyuk made a career of this, going left to right and making goalies look foolish. You don't have to do it as quick as Pavel Datsyuk, but as you're coming across the goal with your stick, go right to left or left to right, or with your body. You can just skate past the goalie and see if there becomes a juicy opening. Right there he goes. He makes first a phenomenal still, and then he has the patient. I'm going to make a move. I got the goalie to bite and go down, use deception, and then I'm going to go make him go right to left, and it's impossible. One extra move of deception, even if it's an arm fake, even if it's a pump fake with your arms, like, hey, I'm going this way. Just a little bit extra patience. And you'll notice that these are all shots within our scoring zone that we learned at the beginning of this video. So Pavel Datsyuk is showing us making the goalie move right to left with deception, and in some cases coming across the goal. Coach Constantine says coming across the goal is a very good way to get a goalie to open up a hole on the bottom blocker or bottom glove side of the net. Now here's a graphic that shows the holes of the goalie. This isn't necessarily accurate. You can find, the only one that stays the same is the 5 hole. So I referenced this. If you're confused on what holes I'm talking about that the goalie has in the net, or the open spots that you can shoot and score on the goalie on the net, don't refer to any other number except for the 5 hole. That is constant in the world of hockey. Every other hole is, the numbers is always a disagreement. So I have used the terms blocker side high or glove side high for the 4 and 3 holes on that diagram. I have referred to blocker side low or glove side low for 1 and 2. Shots on the ice go in, guys. JV players, if you're young and you're starting out just playing hockey and you're concerned because you're not ripping it, tickling the twine, pushing a puck past through the net and burning a hole into the glass, you know, if you're not shooting hard, don't worry about it. Start by making a pass to the low blocker side. You'll be surprised that one will go in a game. It'll just go in, or you'll get a sweet rebound. Put as much mustard as you can on it. One thing this season I've really liked to see is I've seen Laney shoot a little faster. Some of our D shoot a little faster at those, you know, just give a faster pass or shot to those 1 and 2. Those 1 and 2 holes, or the 1 and 2 holes, the lower blocker and the lower glove side. Okay, so that's kind of my lecture on, hey, Coach Sam, my shots aren't going in. I just noticed as I was watching this JV game, the JV game that I refereed for was the one at the barn, the home one at the barn. And the score, I know we didn't score any goals. And I know some of you were slapping the ice with your sticks at the end. Rightfully so frustrated. When you get skunked on a game, it doesn't feel nice. But let's learn from our mistakes. Let's shoot from high. Once you get in that zone where those pucks are going in, once you're in that zone, shoot the puck. And shoot the puck on net. If you miss your first 2 shots over the net, aim for the middle of the net. Aim for mid blocker. Aim for mid glove. It's still like an 18, 19, 20% chance your puck's going to go in. All right, to wrap up this segment of goal scoring and what I think we could do better as a team, especially the JV areas, in putting a few more pucks back in the net, is it breaks down simply as follows. And this isn't the only hard and fast rules, but these are the most important rules when you're starting out. Number 1, shoot pucks that will hit the net. Okay, so if it's not a 95% shot, don't take it. The second is use deception to score goals. Pavel Datsyuk. Get the goalie moving left to right or right to left. Come across the crease, either with your stick or move your feet across the crease. When you're in a high scoring area, shoot the puck. Don't hold on to it. Wait until you're in front of the defender. Shoot the puck. Shoot the puck. Shoot the puck. If there's a defender in front of you and the goalie, shoot the puck. Okay? He's screening the goalie. If you've got a chance to make a sweet move, like Seven sometimes does, and he'll just deke them out, and they'll go right, and then he comes across left, and he just slides the puck in. About 65% of Seven's shots go in on the ice. Every once in a while, a player will get a sweet top shelfer like he had in the second game at the barn. His first goal, the first goal of that game was just a nice top shelf. I mean, those feel good. I mean, I'll be honest, those feel good. But the goals that get scored over and over again are those deceptive goals that you fake the goalie out and then just put it in. And don't forget to shoot the puck when you're in high scoring areas. That's how you get goals. Or create a situation where you are scoring goals. I'm going to go through one more thing that I'm seeing on offense that I want to fix. And I'll bring that up now. So in a second, I'm going to bring up a play. You're going to see a cross dissolve, and it goes to back in the beginning of the first period of this game, a play where there's something I call might hockey. And I want you to watch the players and their positioning most of the time, especially the forwards. Right now, you've got 4 guys on one side. You got 3 guys right together in each other's way. I've got all 5 players in one zone on the ice and sucked down on the ice. So that's what I call might hockey. And might hockey is when the only thing we care about is the puck. And the only thing we care about is ourselves, and we don't want to be playmakers, and we just want to get the puck, and we all think we can get it. It just does not work in any hockey situation, even might hockey. It's terrible to watch, and you're just learning at that point. When you're a little 6-year-old kid, you're just learning how to skate. But you guys are high school players. If you find yourself, I asked Seven about the first period, and I said, "Well, how did you feel in the first period?" And he said, I felt like the ice was wrong. I felt like my skates couldn't get grip. I felt this and that, and those are all psychological things to tell you that you're in the wrong place. If it doesn't feel right, look how many other players are around you. If you've got 3 sweaters within 4 feet of you, like, you're in the wrong spot. Like, find some open ice, defend the play, and be intuitive about where you are off the puck. So, anyway, I've babbled enough. This is my coaching session. I'd like to thank the Reynolds for awesome footage for the game. And I think what I'll do next week is maybe just break down the game, if you guys want to listen. And I think everyone should at least during the week watch the game. Come back, watch the game, watch how you did. And the biggest improvement that you can make is just watching yourself, and making critical judgments. Hey, I could be here. I could be here better. My gap was off here. Maybe my pass could have been a little crisper. Maybe the breakout, in fact, the breakout right there needs to go to Bo, or number 9. Sorry, yeah, I think that is Bo. It needs to go into Bo on a little better pass. Just watch yourself. See, that was a good pass, and it finally got out of the zone, even though the pass was missed. So you make that good pass in the center, it just gets out. Anyway, be your own critic. Watch the film, watch the tape, get better in your mind, and I'll see you out at the rink next week.